Vancouver Pro, which allowed him to be in the open class. And he's decided he's going to take them up on that. And he's in American soil now. I believe he's in L.A., making his way, obviously, to Vegas with his trainer, Andy Rambod. What are your thoughts on Hadi making the switch and deciding to go into the open in this class just 1 week out from the Olympia?
Well, I just want to start off by saying I'm very proud of the guy, to have qualified for both the 212 and the Open. That's not a common thing in the IFBB Pro League, but he's done it. But with all due respect to him and his coaching staff and everybody there, and I'm sure they got their reasons for it. I don't think he's going to win the Open, but he may finish in the top 5, top 10. If he were to go into the 212, he would do a lot better there, maybe even win it. That's my opinion on that.
No doubt, 212 class, it hasn't been as exciting as it used to be with Flex Lewis in there and Jose Raymond and some of the people there. So I think that definitely, we have Zane Watson, a fellow Canadian, so he's obviously going to bring his best package. But let's make it not about that. Hadi Choopan, phenomenal athlete, I believe 51 years of age, and he was on a travel ban that the United States has with Iran. We didn't think we'd actually see him compete in the U.S., let alone even come to visit. But obviously the guys at AMI, David Pecker and Dan Solomon, the whole crew there, along with Jim Mannion, Robin Chang, and the crew from the IFBB Pro League, and obviously Hadi's camp, they all work together to get immigration to sort of loosen up the restrictions on this elite athlete to allow him to compete at the Olympia. So he did get a visa. It's phenomenal just to see him in the United States. We were fortunate enough to see him at the Vancouver Pro Show. We interviewed him. Check that out at muscleinsider.com. Had some phenomenal interviews on our Instagram as well. But this creates a whole new storyline because we had just thought it was going to be a race between Dexter Jackson, who won the Olympia in 2008, I believe, and we were going to see obviously William the Conqueror Bonac, see how he could come into shape without the help of Neil Hill, and then obviously Brandon Curry, Rolly Winkler. That whole group is what we thought the show was going to be about. Recently, Phil Heath announced that he's definitely not doing the Olympia, which we knew, and Sean Roden obviously is not allowed to do the Olympia. But we think this is going to be a real interesting sort of storyline that's happening now. And your opinion is, Dom, that he is not going to win the Olympia. But, of course, as Gary Udit said, it's whoever shows up that day in the absolute best shape with the best total package. That's the only way you can tell who's going to win. Everybody who has theories of who's going to win is just coming up with what you see on Instagram with all the filters that we see and everything else. But until they step on stage, nobody knows. And if it does come down to it in conditioning, I don't think you're going to see Hadi show up out of shape. So everybody else better bring their best condition possible. Displaying the physiques, I don't think there's a person up there who can display their physique even close to Hadi. His muscle control, his ability to hit transitions, there's no belly, distended stomach at all. This guy at Vancouver seemed to get better with every minute of the show. He wasn't dripping water like some of the other guys that just weren't used to hanging with posing for so long. This guy's conditioning for hitting poses is just unparalleled. So definitely, if this goes the distance and if the judges have them out competing against each other with a lot of call-outs, I think you're going to see Hadi move up in rank. But obviously, you've pointed out in the past that one of the weaknesses that Nathan Diasha exposed at the Vancouver Pro was the waist to shoulder ratio. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I mean, his weight, Hadi's waist to shoulder ratio, I mean, it's not that of Dexter or Bonac and Curry and these guys there. I mean, his genetics are what they are. But what he does bring to the table or to that stage is the fact that he comes in such great condition. The muscle balance is there, the symmetry's there, but just the genetics, compared to those guys aren't there, and that's not something you can easily change. Again, that's my opinion. I mean, I'm not an Olympia judge to be able to be able to comment further than my own opinion, but that's from what I can see, and from what I've compared in the last 20 years that I've been in the industry and having judged myself, again, not being an Olympia judge, but looking at these physiques on stage, I don't think he's going to win the Open against those other guys. There's just no way. But that being said, I mean it with all due respect. I admire Hadi. I have a ton of respect for Hadi and his coaching staff. But I don't think he's going to win the Open. Now, there's got to be reasons why they decided to go with the Open versus 212, I'm sure, and very good reasons. Maybe he can't make the weight in time, or safely. But either way, he's going to step on that stage. His dream is going to come true. Our dream as fans is going to come true in terms of being able to see him on stage at the Olympia, which is a story in itself, and an accomplishment in itself. But that being said, I think he would do a lot better in the 212, maybe even win it.
Phenomenal. It's all going to happen this Friday night is the prejudging. Then the finals will be Saturday night for the Open men's bodybuilding class. We're going to have it all at muscleinsider.com. We're even kicking off Tuesday with the Olympia Amateur. We're going to have coverage of that happening live, so check that out. And obviously, we've got to thank our sponsor, Redcon One and Redcon One Canada. These guys stepped up to the bat, sponsored our contest coverage. So fans out there, show your appreciation for Redcon. Drop by their booth. They've got a really cool pre-workout that's only going to be sold at the Olympia. These guys are creating all kinds of news lately. Opening a gym in Boca Raton, a Redcon One gym. So lots of cool things there. These guys supporting the industry. In the past, they do our live streaming. They sponsor that. So they're all about appealing to the hardcore market, the people who are obviously in the highest state of readiness. But anyways, this is Scott Welch, Muscle Insider Magazine with Dominic Morrow. We are very happy that Hadi Choopan is going to be in the Olympia, no less, and he's going to be in the Open class, which is going to keep it really exciting. Can't wait till the press conference. Anyways, Scott Welch, Muscle Insider, signing off here with Dominic Morrow.